celebrating 15 years of this beloved foolery.
What did you do to the dog?
I don't know. I didn't do anything to this dog.
I'm crying.
Is that a stain on your pants now? You sure he's
I think the best thing you can do is just let him ride it out.
No, that's the worst thing you can do.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
I forgot to tell you about this yesterday. We had a bar over the weekend. It's kind of a late night, big party town. And we're sitting in there, and there's a sink, there's a toilet, and the toilet's off to the urinal is in the middle. The toilet's off to the left. Sink's in the far right corner by the door. And I just figured it's one of those bathrooms that you walk in and you don't lock the door because I went all the way to the toilet, and then there was a urinal. And and so I walk in there, and then a guy comes in behind me. He uses the urinal. Then another guy comes in behind that, and he said, "Hey, I guess this is where it's that four letter word. Jeez. Anyways, hang out. Not a word I can use." And then he's a tall guy, and next thing I know, he just unfastens, starts going to the bathroom in the sink. And I'm like, oh, okay. I know what kind of
Classy.
What kind of bar.
Classy joint.
Have you ever ran into somebody using the sink as a urinal before? And how do you handle that?
Yeah.
I can't wash my hands now. I mean, I'm not
AT&T Park.
Oh, yeah. Alcohol's involved.
Yeah, it was a country concert at AT&T Park, and a lot of the urinals were getting broken because of overusage, and people were just going in there and trying to do their business wherever the opportunity was.
Yes.
So I saw people using the sink. Not classy.
No, I mean, but if you think about it, it's got a drain and there's water. You can rinse it down. But at the same time, I wasn't going to wash my hands after I saw this happen. I saw some.
Why you don't rub your hands in the sink though? I mean,
good housekeeping. Well, he was still there when I left, and he was up whatever. And so, Good Housekeeping magazine was doing a study, or a survey, or I don't know, some kind of article, and they did a survey, and then their survey, 62% of men say they do not wash their hands after going to the bathroom. And the one nice thing about, you should still wash your hands, but being a guy is sometimes you can walk in, like let's. You
don't have to.
I'll think of a place that most people have probably been, the Slow Airport. You go in there, you could do your business. You don't have to touch anything except for your belt and your pants. You know, there's no flushing there. It's all automatic, and you can walk out of there. And sometimes I got to tell you, if it's been pretty crazy and the place is packed and I can't get to a sink, I'll just do that. I'll walk in, I'll do my thing, and I'll leave. Now, women can't do this. Unfortunately, you have to touch a lot of things. You're touching the stall door. You're in the bathroom. You're doing all these things, and you're coming out. You got to do whatever. I think most men want to wash their hands, but I think, like I remember Seth, he never washed his hands. And somebody that we worked with looked at me and he goes, dude, why doesn't that guy ever wash his hands? And I asked him one day and he says, because I don't touch anything. I go, well, you're touching yourself. And then you're coming in here and you're touching door handles and you're touching oh my God, it just made me, I was disgusted. We use the same microphone sometimes. He's got his own studio, but he'll come into our studio sometimes to do things if he needs to. And those hands have not been washed and you know where they've been. So I always kept extra hand sanitizer in the studio. So when Seth came in,
how long have you known about this?
Probably too long. I didn't tell you.
So you waited until he retired and he can't defend himself on not washing his hands.
Just throw him under the bus?
Yeah, totally throwing him under the bus. After he's retired, he's supposed to be like on a beach somewhere, and hopefully he is. So he doesn't have to hear this or hear it from people.
If he hears about it and he wants to talk about it, give him 805-543-3693. Hopefully he'll remember, the phone number. He can call anytime. We can have this conversation. Because when people, listen, guys, and I understand, but when you don't wash your hands, think about everything you're touching after you've touched yourself. And would you want somebody else's touching themselves and then touching things you're going to touch? Probably not. Doesn't hurt. So, a little disturbing that 62% of men don't wash their hands. after using the bathroom. We can do
I gotta
better.
say, not every time though. I don't do it every time. Sometimes, like you're in a public place and you look at the sink, and that sink involves you touching a lot of things. Like
No, I
limit
understand.
the amount of contact at all costs.
But I'll tell you this, and this is not a lie. 100% of the time that I use the bathroom at work, I wash my hands afterwards. 100%. Unless, sometimes I'll leave the bathroom because somebody's in there blowing it up and I can't breathe. And I'll go back into the building. We have a kitchen and I'll wash my hands there. But it's always getting washed. That's just respect for your coworkers.
Spending 4 hours in a box together every day can make you say crazy things.
Don't go crazy.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Have you ever heard of MRSA, also known as MRSA?
Yeah.
It's a bacteria that lives on your skin, and if it gets in your blood, it's very deadly. It kills people all the time. They just found that long nails could mean that you're just festering a bunch of bacteria, and it could be the MRSA, also known as MRSA, which is antibiotic-resistant bacteria. As I bring up the
If you have
definition
long
here.
nails.
The women that like to have these really long nails, they always say your fingernails are the dirtiest thing on your body because it collects all this bacteria under your nails. That's why you should never bite your nails. I've been biting my nails for years. Sometimes I'll take a thumbnail off and I'll use it as a toothpick.
Yeah, I do that too.
That just grossed me out saying that out loud.
Hey, you're not the only one.
My
brother.
wife,
I do
it
the
drives
same
her
thing.
nuts. You cannot stand it. But
Sometimes you have ribs and you don't have a toothpick handy, and you got to do something about it.
I don't care about
Chicken
nails. I think girls care about nails. That's it. Guys, do we care about nails? Do you look at a girl and if she's super attractive, but she doesn't have any nails, like let's say you see a very attractive woman and then you see she has no nails, like she's a nail biter. Is that going to turn you off? No, that is not going to turn me off.
No, if anything,
That
it
is
turns
like-
me on because it humanizes this perfect-looking creature. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, she does have a flaw.
Yeah, there you go.
She's a real
a
person.
little bit more down to earth than
not
I
a robot.
thought. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's not high maintenance because high maintenance would have the long nails, right?
Right.
Like the ones that are the fake nails, the
And that's what we're talking about here.
acrylic nails. Yeah.
The press on. No, just whatever. Yeah, women are very, I think it must be a woman to woman thing. And women, listen, we don't care about your nails. If you do, that's fine. Just know that researchers say people could transfer the bacteria into their system by scratching themselves, picking their nose, or sucking on their fingers.
Let's come up
Who
with a list
sucks
of
on their
things that we-
fingers? I guess what? If you get some barbecue
I do
sauce
if
on
I'm
there?
eating chicken
Ribs?
wings. Yeah, I'll suck up my fingers a little bit. How about this? Let's come up with a short list of things that we really don't care about that women think we do care about. Like the brand of purse that you have, I could not.
No, that's a woman
tell
thing.
the
That's a
difference-
woman thing, yeah.
The difference between the brand of purse that you have,
Yeah, that's a woman
and
thing.
like why anybody would spend $500 on a purse is beyond me.
But that's when I say
Like,
a woman
it's a-
thing, I'm just saying that's what they do that to show off to other women. Like there's like what do we do to show off to other men? Maybe we
sports cars.
cars, boats, that kind of guns.
Oh, you admit the boat. Okay, that's good.
I didn't admit the boat. I
good.
said
You-
some guys
you
do.
admit-
My boat is not
you
that
admit it.
fancy. My boat is a very, it's just, I bought it used. I don't buy new stuff. I mean, I guess my truck's new and it's leased, but yeah, no. But you're right. Yes,
Had
I
to
think a
drop
lot
that
of
in there.
guys want to show off by showing things that they have. And that's, because, all the things I want in my life are things that other friends have. And I'm like, oh, I'd like to have that too. But it would,
Good thing I don't have a speedboat, huh? Because you'd have to get a speedboat.
No, I wouldn't. That would not be practical for me. I would like to get an ATV or a side-by-side. I'm looking at getting one of those. And I'm looking at getting an RV so I can pull the thing around and I have somewhere to stay, but it'll be used and it'll be something that's more functional than brand new and fancy.
How about this one? Hair extensions.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell or care about the length of your hair and whether or not it's real. In fact, if anything, if you have hair extensions and I find out you have hair extensions, that might be a deal breaker.
How about the makeover?
Because
And with all the makeup on, the women that wear all that makeup, like they really
makeup's another thing.
We don't care about makeup.
It's another thing. Like maybe a little bit, but like not like to the extreme. And you talk about MRSA. I was reading a report last week that said that like makeup like is the most bacterial harboring thing. Like those little dishes that have the makeup that you put the brush in, and then they put the brush on their cheeks.
Yep.
I don't know what it's called.
It's a brush, a makeup brush.
Has tons of bacteria in it.
I'm sure
because
it's
you
called a
reuse it.
Yeah.
You can't wash it. Like when I paint a wall, I wash the brush when I'm done painting a wall.
Why can't you wash the
You
makeup
can't
brush?
wash that brush.
Put it
No,
in the-
because then that stuff will goop up in there and stuff.
Put it in the dishwasher.
I don't know. Can you wash? I don't know.
I put a
have
lot
no
of stuff
idea.
in the
I don't use
dishwasher.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. Put the sanitize button on, and it seems. But I don't have any makeup brushes. I'll ask my wife. She uses a sponge and she throws it away. I think it's a sponge for the rouge, for the foundation, whatever that's called, the stuff they would put on their cheeks and their yeah. That's what you use it for, right? But
A sponge?
I think
Like
that's
what,
for a
Scotch
liquid.
Brite?
It's like a little white. Looks like a little piece of foam. I don't know. I see those in our garbage can when I use our.
Oh, so
bathroom.
you just can't go grab the cedar out of the sink and be like, here, here you
No, it's a special kind of applicator, Jeff. It's an applicator, not a sponge. If she was here right now, she'd be like, "Sir, Jeremy, it's an applicator.
It's not a sponge.
We don't care about applicators."
Be very clear on that one.
You know, just, I swear to God, I find ponytails, you know, every girl, in my opinion, if they want to have long hair, they can just put their hair in a ponytail, and I'd be just fine with that. I'm okay with ponytails.
And another thing
you don't need
is
to spend
the
all that
tan.
money on it.
Especially living in California, the tan is overrated. You don't have to be tan to the tilt, man. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, sometimes being unique is nice. You know, nothing wrong with a little pale skin from time to time.
What else? Maybe the perfume. Sometimes the perfume can be way overdone, and you know we don't need perfume. We don't care about that at all. There's so many other things that we care about before we get to perfume. And if
being insensitive, because as men we have it okay. We're
just trying to help out. We're just trying to help out. Women wear perfume,
have to put on the
makeup,
makeup. We
they
don't
do
have
their
to put on
nails,
cologne.
all that superficial stuff. Sorry if that's the wrong way to say it, but all that superficial stuff, I think, is done to impress other women, not men. Or people are writing in right now. It's what we like to do for ourselves. Well, okay. Not important, but okay.
Careful. You don't want to learn from this. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Good morning, it's Jeff and Jeremy. You're home for the KCOZ Big Gas Grab. Keep listening for those artists played back-to-back. Text the word gas in to win, 805-543-3693. And then if we call you back, answer the phone, KCOZ Big Gas Grab to win. Make sure you don't say it too fast. Take a listen to this.
The Minnesota Department of Corrections is seeking applicants for a highly specialized job, tattoo supervisor. The job would be working to establish a tattoo and body art studio within the state's network of correctional facilities. The role would train inmates to become a licensed tattoo technician. It would also aim to curb transmission of diseases due to prisoners using unsterile materials and techniques.
If we can't beat them, join them. I mean, what has taken so long? I mean, think about all the guys who go to prison, and they do them, you know, with ink, and they all get these tattoos, and you know, why not actually, you know, we're trying to rehabilitate people here, and you know, let people be tattoo artists, get tattoos in prison if you want to, but let's do it in a safe, sterile manner, and this totally makes sense. Here we go. Is this?
You remember Open Canvas Laser Aesthetics? We did a contest with them.
That's right.
To remove a tattoo, and the winner was somebody who got prison tattoos, and he said, you know, it affected his life because here's these tattoos on his face that he decided to get when he was in prison, and they're, you know, because it's prison tattoos, it's not a good look, you know. None of these guys are skilled, but then again, I teeter on this because I don't know if it's necessarily good to be allocating taxpayer dollars to give people, tattoo artists, personal tattoo artists for free.
Yes, but at the same time, I mean, the whole purpose of being in prison is to be rehabilitated. And if they train somebody in a skill, profession, and they get released and they can go out and be a tattoo artist, then, I think that's a win. Because I think the number one, I mean, I'm no expert, but I mean, from what you read, one of the top big issues when people are released from prison, why they recommit, is because they don't know how to live another kind of life. So they end up recommitting, and then they end up going to back to jail for it.
Yeah. I have a tough time with like what's next? Nail studios for pedicures, spa treatments. What exactly is going to be the line when it comes to providing things for people that are supposed to be being punished for the crimes they committed on the outside, and then we're giving them luxuries on the inside?
Tattoos a luxury?
Yeah. If I were to go get a tattoo, I'd have to fork over. Well, you have a tattoo. How much did your tattoo cost?
I don't know. My wife paid for it, but yeah, there's money involved there. It was not cheap. It wasn't
it's
too
like
expensive.
$100.
Yeah, it was probably about $100 or something like that.
But if you got somebody on the payroll, you have to. I'm sure they're going to have to pay. You're taking prisoners in a situation in which you are basically putting stuff that could be used as weapons in front of their face, and there's got to be some kind of hazard pay that's involved if being tattoo artist for your own studio versus tattoo artist for the state in a hostile situation.
Well, I'm sure
what could
that,
turn into a hostile situation.
You've got all these guys and all these security measures set in place, and they probably have to go into a secure area to be, trained and to use these things and to give tattoos. But I mean, it's healthier, it's safer, and at the end of the day, somebody could come out rehabilitated and have a skill they didn't have when they went in. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be all that bad for me. We provide them books, and we provide them. People are now going to school and getting degrees while they're in prison, which is pretty awesome.
That's fine. That's all for benefit of society. Right. I don't know how the tattoo benefits them.
It's a skill, and people need tattoos.
But so, are you saying that the inmates are going to be the ones learning how to give the tattoos?
Yes, they're going to be
prison?
tattoo artists. So instead of some guy doing it in some other guy's jail cell or however they used to do it, they'll actually be trained to do it with a real gun in a safe, sterile environment.
So you're giving prisoners something called a tattoo gun.
Yes, I don't know if you could kill somebody with a tattoo gun. Yeah, you could hurt somebody, but I don't think you could kill them.
Revenge on the inside. I don't know what it's like, but I've heard stories and I've seen movies. I mean,
but but there's no different. I would say a shank is probably more dangerous, and people get shanked in prison all the time. I don't think they're going to be trying to kill somebody.
Before they had to make their own shank. No. Now you're giving them.
You know what a shank is? It's like a pencil. It's like something long and sharp. A tattoo needle is very small. So trust me, the first guy that tries to kill somebody with a tattoo gun is going to find out real quick. He's probably going to get shanked. So that'll probably go away right away.
I am telling you right now, I don't know if I'm on board with this. This is the KZOZ.com poll question today. Should states be providing tattoo services for prisoners given by prisoners? Is that the right way to word it?
No, it isn't. No. Should states be providing tattoo? Well, I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. They're training prisoners to be tattoo artists. Should states be? I mean, because all they're doing is rehabilitating them. Just no different than when you go to CC.
I get your argument. I do.
Central Coast Men's Colony, and they're in there. They're sewing shirts together. They're making pants. I don't know if they still do that, but a number of years ago when I went there, they made all the clothing for other prisons in California, and it taught them some sort of a skill, which I'm pretty sure when they get out, if they ever do, that those jobs are replaced by machines. So, but I don't know exactly how it is. But here's something that, prisoners want. Here's something that prisoners usually get. And why not have somebody that's trained that knows how to do it in a safe, sterile environment? And you're rehabilitating someone when they do get out. If they do, then they can go get a job doing this.
I know. I see the positive side. Believe me, trust me. I do see the positive side. I also see the negative side as to allocating resources to this, and by having prisoners do this to other prisoners, I think you're opening a can of worms.
805-543-3693 are the text lines. Let us know. They're the 805 Beer text lines. You can also hit us up on our website. That's where the SurfNet Communications poll question is, KZOZ.
Okay, so you always accuse me of
framing the poll question.
So I think I've come up with one that is not, it is very both sides.
How about the word balanced?
Yes, balanced. When we disagree on something, you always say, when I write the poll question, oh, well, that's how they're going to answer it because you framed it that way.
Yes, you usually do that.
This is
that's fine.
This is how the question reads.
Okay.
Do you think prisoners should be given tattoo classes where they're allowed to give other prisoners tattoos? Is that okay?
No rehabilitation in there? No, you can't throw that word in there a little bit?
Do you think prisoners should be given tattoo classes? Well, it is in the answer. It is in the answer.
Do you think prisoners should be able to train to be a tattoo artist while they're in prison so they can?
Okay, but the answers. I think what you're looking for is going to be in the answers, and I'll read the answers for you. Okay, yes, it gives them a skill set to use during while they're on the outside or during their release.
Okay,
or,
yeah, okay, legit.
And then no, it sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Sure, that's very fair. I think that at least gives
Is that
everybody
fair and balanced?
a 50-50 shot there. I would say that's fair and balanced. And yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right.
Okay.
805-543-3693. You can also weigh in that way. And
I just think there's so many other things that they could do. Fair and balanced, yes.
Sorry.
There's so many other things that they could do that they could learn on the inside that would benefit society more so than being a tattoo artist. I really do.
Well, maybe there is,
granted,
but this is one of the
skills. I know
skills.
the marketplace might be there on the inside because everybody wants to get a tattoo, but I'm just saying that I think it is like, why not train to be, and I know that there's programs for this, why not train to be an accountant? Why not train, get more people in the accountant class than, or maybe manufacturing or something along those lines. Sewing T-shirts, like you said earlier.
Yeah. 805-543-3693, and you can vote right now. It's the KZOZ SurfNet Communications poll question. That's over at kzoz.com.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. How pathetic can some people be?
Easter, that's a weird tradition. Easter, the day Jesus rose from the dead, what should we do?
How about eggs?
Well, what does that have to do with Jesus?
All right, we'll hide them.
I don't follow your logic.
Don't worry, there's a bunny. Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
How did the collective of Easter traditions come together? It's just like strange.
And what do you do with those eggs? You make deviled eggs. Those are the best way to eat a boiled egg, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really good. We did that yesterday. That's the whole reason why we dyed eggs I think we did on Friday night, because we wanted the excuse to make deviled eggs for yesterday. And we got that. And we did it. And my wife did a great job. She knocked it out of the park. I don't know what it is. This happened in Austin, Texas. So I don't know what it is about adults wanting to force sexuality upon children, but it's happening all over this country. And it's not only just sexuality, but it's also in the way of, every single agenda that any side has on this, it needs to be pushed upon children.
When you say adults are trying to push sexuality on children, it makes it sound like they're pushing, being sexually active. What did you mean by that?
That's what I mean in this instance. A parent dressed up as the Easter Bunny handed out condoms to elementary school children Friday in Austin. The parent dressed up as a bunny, showed up at the school, started giving out Easter eggs. Some of the Easter eggs had candy in them. Some of them had condoms in them. Now, a lot of parents, as you can imagine, were like, why is my kid bringing home
prophylactic?
Well, the kid, yeah, but what happened is the kids see it and they're like, oh, there must be candy in here. They open it up and there's an unused, an unopened condom. So then they go and they say, what's it? What am I supposed to do with this to the teachers? And the teachers
it's a balloon.
Had to put a stop to it. They went up to the Easter Bunny and they're like, hey, the Easter Bunny's unnamed in this complaint, which that's the real travesty. Like the Easter Bunny, if they made the conscious decision to push sexuality on children ages 5 through 12, then that person should be responsible for their actions. But no, they went unnamed because they wanted to protect the parent that was forcing sexuality upon children in elementary school, ages 5 through 12. Austin Independent School District said it would be updating its safety protocols after the incident, mainly meaning they probably won't let any parent just dress up as a bunny and start handing things to kids.
Yeah, well, they're going to say,
that's
what are you
where we're
doing?
at.
What are you looking at? Because you can't trust adults anymore, unfortunately.
Because adults are acting like children. That's why.
And I don't understand why it's so important to tell an 8 or 9-year-old, they're not old enough to decide what they want in that. They haven't even gone through puberty yet. They don't have the hormones, or their bodies haven't even developed all the way. I don't understand why that is. In
the grand scheme of things, this is relatively tame compared to what else is going on. But what else is going on, sadly enough, is sanctioned by many, many school districts across this country. And it's gross. Quit talking to kids about their sexuality.
Did this happen at a public school?
Of course.
Yeah.
And it was Austin. So yeah. Austin likes to, dub itself the Portland of Texas. So there you have it. That's what you get, Portland of Texas. Congratulations. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ. Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.